Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning everyone.
Waalaikumsalam, Madam.
Waalaikumsalam. Good morning, madam.
Okay, so for today we're going to look into 1.5, the exercise 1.5, which is exercise for polar coordinates. Okay, so I hope everyone have done this exercise and check the answer. Okay, you can see my screen, huh?
Yes.
Right. So in this exercise, there are 11 questions altogether. So we will look into each question one by one. But then if there's a question with, for example, number 9, right? So there are A to L. So I maybe pick randomly between that lah. Okay. Okay, so question number 1. Sketch the point and find the rectangular coordinates of the point whose polar coordinates are given. So the question gives us a polar coordinate. Polar coordinates means your point is in terms of r and theta. Okay, and this question asks us to change the point into x and y, the rectangular. Okay, so you just use the formulas x equals to r cos theta equals to r sin theta, and then x squared plus y squared equals to r squared. And then one more formula is to find the theta, which is arctangent y over x. Okay, so all these formulas are given. You don't have to remember. Okay, let's look into question, let's say number C, question C, pi over 3. Okay, how to sketch the point? First of all, you have to look into the angle. Whenever the question asks you to sketch a point, you have to look into the angle first. Okay, avoid the R. Pi over 3 is 60 degree, right? So 60 degrees, katalah somewhere here, pi over 3. Okay, and then the R is negative 6. Whenever you have R negative, means it is exactly the opposite point. So if you have a point here, negative 6 means exactly opposite here lah. So negative 6 pi over 3. The point here is what? 6 pi over 3. Okay? Faham So yang betul-betul bersebelahan dengan dia tu, kalau yang ini 6 pi per 3, so the opposite one will be negative 6 pi over 3. Okay? And then what means by, this is negative r. Okay, negative r means the point is exactly opposite. What means by negative theta? So let's look into question P. You have negative pi over 6, okay? First of all, as I mentioned before, you have to look into the angle first. Now the angle is negative pi over 6. Okay, whenever you have a negative angle, means it is counted clockwise direction. So daripada bawah ni. Okay, this is negative theta. So negative pi over 6 is 30 degree, right? So something, katalah kat sini somewhere here. Negative pi over 6. So this point will be, is it r negative? No, r is positive. So this is the point of 2 negative pi over 6. Okay. So now we want to find the rectangular coordinate. So x equals to r cos theta, which is negative 6 cos pi over 3. Okay, so we just substitute the value into your calculator. And then r sin theta would be negative 6 sine pi over 3. Okay, this one as well. X equals to r. R is 2 cos negative pi over 6. And then y equals to 2 sine negative pi over 6. Okay, so let's use the calculator. make sure your calculator the setting is set to be in radius, not degree. Okay, you have to use radian, don't use degree. Okay, so this one is square root 3, this one. Okay, so the point here is negative 3 square root 3. And then the point here is square root 3, negative. Okay, so the square root also you can put it in decimal points as well, it's accepted. So if you put as 1.7321 negative 1 also accepted, the answer. Okay, that's it. Question number 1. Let's look into question number 2. Okay, in question number 2, you are required to give another point in polar coordinates. Okay, one pair. One is when the theta is positive, the other one is when your theta is negative. So it is counterclockwise or clockwise direction. That's it. Okay, let's say we look into 2a, negative 5, 0. So this point is given in rectangular. So when rectangular, this is x, this is y. So r is equal to negative 5 squared plus 0 squared square root. Okay, so we have 25, 5. And then theta is tangent y over x, 0 over negative 5, which is 0. Okay, whenever you want to find theta, the angle, you have to refer back to your point. Okay, because sometimes the answer using calculator will give you only the angle in first quadrant. However, the point may be situated at second, third, or fourth quadrant. Okay, so you have to sketch back your point first. Okay, for example, this one, the point is on negative x, negative 5, which is here. And then y is 0. So the point is here. Okay, but then as you can see, when you use the calculator, the theta is given as 0. Okay, however, we know that here theta is equals to pi. Okay, so let's say theta real is equals to pi, which is pi plus 0 lah. So your answer should be 5 pi for the one pair. The other pair is when you use clockwise direction. Okay, that one is you use counterclockwise direction for the positive value of theta. And then clockwise direction here is for the negative value of theta. So it should be negative 5. So 5 negative. Okay, so you may do B and C using the same technique. So make sure you check back the angle. Okay, let's look into question number 3, in which the question asks you to sketch a curve in polar coordinates. Okay, sketching would be used until chapter 4. Okay. Dia sama macam quadratic surfaces. All the sketching also will be used until chapter 4. So let's look at R equals to 6 sin theta. So whenever you have a value of theta with n equals to 1, maksudnya dia cuma ada R equals to A cos theta or R equals to A sin theta. So it is a circle. Okay. A circle uh, on X or Y axis depends on the cos of sine. So cos is on the x-axis, sine is on the y-axis. Associated with x and cos. Okay, so sine here, this is sine, so it should be on the y-axis. Y-axis word, it is positive. So just draw something, circle on the y-axis positive. So this is y-axis line. Okay? So what is 6? 6 is here lah. The value of the diameter actually. Okay? The radius would be half, 6 over 2, which is 3. Okay, for B, we have R equals to 3, 1 plus sine theta or 3 plus 3 sine theta. So for this one, okay, if you find a polar equation in terms of R equals to A plus minus B cos theta or R equals to A plus minus B sine theta. So again, the cos and sine will associated with X or Y axis. Okay, the A and B has a value. Okay, this one is what we call cardioid or limacon. It's either 2. Depends on the value of A over B. If it's cardioid, okay, then the A over B would be equals to 1. If it's limacon, then the A over B would be less than 1. Okay. So for this one, A over B is equals to 3 over 3, which is 1. So you have a cardioid. And then this cardioid is on sine, right? So y-axis. Cardioid on y-axis. Okay. So just draw something like that. Okay, so what's the value here? Here it should be A plus B. So 3 plus 3 should be 6. Okay, and then this one is the value of A. Now A is 3. And then this one, again, another value of A. But then since it is on the negative side, so it should be negative 3. Okay, that's how you label the cardioid. Okay, let's look C. C is R equals to 3 plus 4 cos theta. So it looks like either it is cardioid or limacon. Let's test the A over B. A over B is 3 over 4, which is less than 1. So we have a limacon. So limacon ni dia ada hole. Dia ada apa? Hole dekat jantung tu. Dia macam jantung lubang lah kiranya. Okay, so the limacon is on the cos, which is x. Cos what? Positive. X-axis positive is here lah. So you just draw something like this, cos, but then you there's a hole there. Okay, again, this one is A plus B. So this one, 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay, this part is B minus A, which is 4 minus 3 is 1. So this one is A tadi kan. Tapi belah bawah adalah negative. So negative 3. This one is A, so 3. Okay. D is R equals to 9 sine 4 theta. Okay, now you have 4. Whenever you have a n greater than 2, greater than 1, so it is no longer a circle. It will be a Rosker. R equals to A cos n theta, R equals to A sin n theta with n greater than 1. Maksudnya n tu dia start 2, 3 dan seterusnya lah. Okay, so it is a Rosker. Kalau rose curve ni dia mesti ada petals. Okay, dia mesti ada kelopak. Kelopak dia tu bergantung kepada nilai n. Either your n is odd or even. If odd, then your petals will be equals to n. If even, then your petals will be times 2, 2n. Okay? So let's draw this rose curve. So let's draw this rose curve. So the petals of this rose should be 4 times 2 means egg lah. Dia mesti ada 8 petals. Okay, how you draw egg petals? Okay, so remember the each petals has its own angle. Okay, so and it is distribute evenly on the axis. Okay, distribute evenly on the graph. Okay, from 0 until 360 degree or 0 until 2 pi radian. Okay, so how do we draw these egg petals evenly? Kalau nampak macam 8 ni senang lah kan, sebab kita tahu 8 dia mesti bagi. Dia mesti ada sini satu, ini satu. Atau, okay, actually, you boleh buat calculation, pengiraan. Contoh, okay, petals yang pertama ni, setiap petals dia ada panjang dia sendiri kan. Setiap petals, panjang ni adalah 9 lah. This one, the length. Okay, now we want to find this angle. The first angle, or every other angle. Macam mana nak cari angle ni? Okay, angle tu kita samakan dengan 9 lah. So, we let 9 equals to 9 sin 4 theta. Okay. Then we have 9 divided by 9 which is 1. So sin 4 theta equals to 1. Or 4 theta is equals to sin 1. So you tekan calculator, guna radian, you akan dapat sin 1 sama dengan pi per 2. Okay. Pi per 2. So maksudnya angle pertama dia adalah pi per 2. Pi per 2 bagi lagi 4 which is pi over 8 lah. So this one, we know this is pi over 8. Okay, why? Because pi per 2 bagi 4 theta. Angle dia mestilah dalam theta. But now it is 4 theta kan. So theta is pi over 2 divided by 4 lagi means pi over 8. For the first, how do we find all other angles? Okay, now I try teach you how to find all other angles. It is even kan. So kalau even, setiap angle ni dia akan tambah pi. Setiap angle ni akan tambah pi. Sampai you dapat 8 angle. Kenapa 8? Sebab you ada 8 petals. Okay, so saya tambah dulu Okay. So you already have 8. Okay, so you already have 8 angles there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You may stop. Okay. Now we want to find theta. So theta is equals to pi over 8. Okay, so then you may sketch. When you sketch, you will get as this one. Okay. So it means salah. So it means that this one is 3 pi over 8. This one is the 5 pi over 8. Okay, if you don't know the value of pi, okay, pi radian is equals to 180 degrees. Okay, so you boleh buat 180 darjah bagi 8, so dapatlah 22/5 degree. Okay, per degree 22/5 tu you boleh plot sikit kan, boleh nampak dia punya ni. Okay, and so on. This one you don't have to uh, write down every angles. Saya cuma nak tunjuk ke awal lah. Bila awak nak lukis tu lukis saja, tak perlu nak tunjuk angle ni setiap satu ni. Okay, so that's how you draw the Ross curve. Boleh ada soalan tak untuk Ross curve setakat ni? So Ross curve is very important lah. Basically sebab all other surface, all other curve tu is quite easy. But then Ross curve, sometimes students just left out. Kalau ada soalan berkenaan Ross curve, memang student tak nak buat. So ada soalan tak?
Tak ada, madam.
Okay, kalau tak ada saya teruskan kepada 3E. Okay, so the cos, the theta here is only a singular theta. N equals to 1, so it is a circle. Okay, how about this two? You bring to right hand side, dia bukan jadi cos theta. So this is your A tadi lah. So when you sketch cos kan, cos is on the x positive. Okay, so here will be 1 over. So your center is 1 over 4. Okay, that's it. Number 3. For number 4, plot the points in polar coordinates. So it is the same as number 1. Let us plot 4C. Because 4C, both R and theta is negative. Okay, so how to plot when you have both R and theta negative? So first of all, you have to look into the angle. Now the angle is negative angle, so it is counted clockwise. Okay, it goes clockwise direction. So pi over 3 is 60 degree, okay, 60 degree. So this is negative pi over 3. However, if your point is here, let's say this is 4, the point must be positive. 4 negative pi over 3. But the question asks you to plot the negative point. So it should be exactly opposite up here. So this is negative 4, negative pi over 3. So the point is the blue one. Okay, and the rest you may do it yourself. Question number 5 is also similar to question number 1 just now. Now, the question asks you to convert the point of rectangular, the polar coordinates point to rectangular coordinates point. So let us convert this point. X equals to negative 4 cos negative pi over 3. Y equals to negative 4 sine negative pi over 3. Okay, so calculator dahulu. Negative 2 pi over 3. Okay, question number 6. Find the polar coordinates of the point whose rectangular coordinates are given. Okay, kita tengok 6B. There's negative 3 and 3, which is this is x, this is y. Okay, now the question asks you to find polar coordinates representation of this point. So r equals to negative 3 squared plus 3 squared root. Okay, we have 18 square root there. Now we want to find the angle. 3 over negative 3, so up tangent negative 1 will have negative pi over 4. Okay, but then as I mentioned before, please look again, look back into your real angle. Is this the real angle or just the angle that the calculator gives you? So the point negative 3 is x negative 3, y negative 3. So dia sepatutnya kat sini. Nampak tak? Okay, so for this question, the real angle, theta real kat sini sepatutnya kat sini. But then the question gives you what? The question gives you this one, which is the negative pi over 4. So how do you find this theta real? This is theta. How do you find this theta real? So obviously the theta real here will be, this is pi minus pi over 4, which is 3 pi over 4. Okay, jangan ambil negative pi over 4. Why? Because your point is not situated at the negative pi over 4. Your point is situated at this, the theta real one. Okay. So yang ini letak alpha lah, senang alpha sebelum nak buat ni kan. So theta is equals to pi minus pi over 4, which is 3 pi over 4. So your point should be square root 18 and 3 pi over 4. Okay, this is what I mean before lah. Okay, if you just take negative pi over 4, then it is wrong. Okay, because your exact point is not on the fourth quadrant, but in the second quadrant. So to find the angle in the second quadrant, given the fourth quadrant angle, which is negative pi over 4, have to subtract pi minus pi over 4. Then you'll get the 3 pi over 4. Okay, question yang lain tu boleh buat sendiri. Let's say to question number 7. Express the given equations in rectangular coordinates. So you have r equals to 3. So in rectangular coordinates, the questions only want variables in terms of x and y. So just use the formula. So you have x squared plus r plus y squared square root will give you equals to 3. So you have x squared plus y squared equals to 9. Okay, B also the same. R equals to negative 5 will give you x squared plus y squared square equals to negative 5, or x squared plus y squared equals to 25. Here, C is quite easy because it is straight to the point. R cos theta is equals to x, so x equals to 7. Okay, so the sine and the cos is not equals to y and x. Okay, the y should be have r sin theta. The x also should be r cos theta. There should be r there. But in here, there are no r. So what you can do is you bring the denominator to your left hand side, okay, to the left hand side of the equation. Then you will have r times 2 sine theta minus 5 cos theta equals to. So here, then you can substitute into x and y. So 2y minus 5x equals to. Okay, now cosec. What means by cosec? Cosecant is 1 over sine. Okay, cosecant is 1 over sine. So r equals to 6 over sine theta. So again, this denominator you can bring to the left hand side of the equation. It will be r sine theta equals to 6. Then it is straight to the point, r sine theta is equals to y. So y equals to 6. Okay, lastly, in this question number 7, r equals to 3 cos theta plus sine theta. Okay, so again, you cannot simply change or convert the cos into x and the sine into y. Okay, no, cannot, because there should be r there. Okay, so one thing you can do is to multiply r both sides. Okay, so both sides multiply by r, you have r squared equals to 3r cos theta plus r sine theta. Then you can change into polar coordinates. The r squared is x squared plus y squared equals to 3x plus y. Okay, that's it. You can leave your answer here, or you can do the completing the square, simplify the question. Okay. Okay, let's look into question number 8. I hope you can hear me, because this is it's raining heavily right here. So yeah. Dengar saya ke dengar hujan lagi kuat?
Dengar.
Dengar doktor.
Dengar,
Dengar
Right.
doktor.
Jelas saja doktor.
Okay, so question number 8, y equals to 4. So for question number 8, now it's given a rectangular coordinates equation. The question asks you to change to polar coordinates. So when changing to polar coordinates, what's left is only r and theta. Okay, so y is r sin theta equals to 4. So r sama dengan 4 per sin theta. Boleh tinggalkan jawapan dalam sampai sini pun boleh, tak ada masalah. Yang penting jawapan akhir awak mesti dalam R dan theta sahaja, dah tak ada XY. Okay, kalau ada lagi XY, then you have to change lah until everything is in terms of R and theta only. X squared plus Y squared equals to 8. So R squared equals to 8. Okay, boleh tinggal sampai sini pun boleh, atau R sama dengan punca kuasa 8 pun boleh. X squared plus Y squared minus 4x equals to 0. So this is R squared minus 4R cos theta equals to 0. Okay, kita boleh bawa ke sebelah. So R sama dengan 4, R kuasa 2 sama dengan 4 R cos theta. So divided by R, we'll have 4 cos theta. Okay. Or if you do factorization pun sama juga ni. R minus 4 cos theta, so equals to 0. So we'll have R equals to 0, which is kita tak perlu ambil sebab R sama kosong tu cuma tak ada apa-apa lah kiranya. So R minus 4 cos theta equals to 0. So R equals to 4 cos theta. Sama lah. Okay. Okay, question number 9 is another sketching. Okay, theta equals to pi over 6. Now we only have theta. Theta pi over 6, maksudnya 30 darjah. Theta pi over 6 here. Okay, how about R? Tak ada R kan? So mean R is arbitrary. Whenever you are missing one variable or another the variables, okay, so it will be arbitrary. Your graph will be along that missing variables, okay. So sekarang R arbitrary. R tu apa dia? R tu adalah length tadi kan. So it can be 0, it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, or it can be -1, -2, -3, -4. So what you have is a straight line. Okay, with angle theta equals to pi over 6. B also on same, okay, a straight line with angle theta equals to -pi over 3. So straight line juga ni. Okay, look at it. You may try to sketch the real angle. ABC R equals to R equals to 2. Okay, so this is a circle. A circle on the origin with radius 2. Easy. R equals to -3, also a circle over the origin with radius 3. Not -3 and radius must be positive. Okay. The equation, okay, it can be negative. This is equation. Okay, but then when you talk about radius, radius must have a positive value, which is 3 lah. E R equals to 4 sin theta. So again, the theta is singular. Okay, n equals to 1, so it is a circle. Circle on the y-axis because it is sin kan, so circle on the y-axis. Okay, so ini 4, dia punya radius adalah 2. R equals to 2 minus 2 cos theta is what? It is a cardioid. Okay, cardioid on cos negative. So x-axis negative. Okay, try it. R equals to 3 plus 3 sin theta pun sama, it's a cardioid on the y-axis positive. Try to sketch. R equals to 2 cos 2 theta. Okay, now you have 2 here. So whenever you have more than 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, you have a Ross curve. Ross curve now it is even, right? So even Ross curve must have 4 petals. 2 times 2, which is 4 petals. Okay, so you try to sketch the petals evenly, as I show you just now. R equals to sine 4 theta. Also, there's a 4 here, so it is Ross curve again. Now the petals have 4 times 2, which is 8. Okay. Okay, you may try lah. Try to sketch 8 petals evenly on the graph. J. J is what? J is R equals to 2 cos 3 theta. So again 3, so Ross curve. But then now it is odd. Okay, if it's odd, means the petals should be 3 only, not to be times by 2, times 2 to only for even. Okay, so you try. Okay, I forgot to mention about the Ross curve. Mana Ross curve tadi saya buat? Okay, ni. So untuk n, kan you ada n odd atau even. Okay, you ada dua case. Kalau n odd, petals dia sama dengan n. Even, petals dia sama dengan n. Sorry, 2n. Okay, tapi angle for each petal, maksudnya yang ni lah tambah pi ni. Okay. Kalau even ni tadi sama dengan tambah pi kan. Atas ni dia tambah 2 pi. Dia terbalik daripada dia punya number of petals. Kalau kita dah gandakan petals dia, kita tidak gandakan angle dia. So kalau kita tidak gandakan petals dia, kita kena gandakan angle dia. Faham So it's vice versa there. Kalau n to pi, kalau 2n, pi saja. So maksudnya tadi, contoh yang ni, okay, you have to plus 2 pi for the angle. Try Then you can find it is to be distributed evenly. K lagi, K R equals to 4 cos 5 theta. Ni pun sama juga. Rose curve. Petals equals to 5. So try and then you plus 2 pi for angle. L is R equals to 1 plus 2 cos theta. So it is either carded or Limakon, but since 1/2 is less than 1, then you have a Limakon. Limakon kat mana? Cos positive. So Limakon on x-axis positive. Okay. So now let's look into two last questions, which is the symmetric test. Okay, the formula for symmetric test is not given. Okay, you have three formulas. Either it is symmetric on y-axis, x-axis, or about the pole. Okay, all these three formulas are not given, so you have to remember. However, they are, if you can understand, okay, if you can understand, then you can memorize better lah. Okay, so let's see symmetric test first. Okay, X. Katalah kita nak tengok on x-axis, then symmetric on x-axis. So the x-axis is this one, the blue one. So if I have a graph here on the first quadrant, okay, the symmetric will be here, right, on the fourth quadrant. So if this is theta, then this will be negative theta. Okay, so to show that one graph is symmetrical about x-axis, you have to show that your f theta must be equals to f negative theta. Ini formula dia yang tidak diberi itulah, tapi kalau awak boleh faham, then it won't be a problem for you to memorize it better. Okay, let's look into y-axis pula. Kalau y-axis, kat mana pantulan dia? Okay, so y-axis is this one, blue one. Okay, again, if I have a graph here on the first quadrant, this is theta lagi tadi kan? Okay, a graph here. Then the symmetrical will be on the second quadrant kan? Dia macam pantulan cermin kat situ. Okay, on the second quadrant. If that is theta, then here would be pi minus theta. Kenapa pi minus theta? Sebab satu yang ini full, yang warna biru ni full, daripada sana ke sana adalah pi kan? And then saya nak ambil yang second quadrant only, so the second quadrant would be pi minus theta. Okay. So if you want to show that a graph is symmetric on y-axis, you have to show that the f theta must be equal to f pi minus theta. And then the last one is about the pole. Okay, so if you have a graph here, this is theta. So the symmetrical about the pole would be exactly opposite lah here. So sekali lagi, yang ini adalah pi plus theta pula. Okay, sebab 180 darjah dan dah pi tu 180 darjah tambah lagi theta tu, so dapatlah pi plus theta. So symmetric about the pole, you have to show that your f theta must be equal to your f plus pi plus theta. Okay, so if you can show this one, these formulas, then it will be proven lah yang awak punya graph tu sama ada symmetric x-axis ke y-axis ke atau about the curve. Okay. Let's look into question number 10. Use symmetric test to show that the curve in 9E and G are symmetric about y-axis. Okay. Y-axis, Y-axis tadi kena show pi minus theta. Kalau you lupa lagi, buat je lah. Tadi kat sini, kalau y tu kat sini. And then kalau sini theta, sini mestilah pi minus theta. So saya kena show theta equals to pi minus theta. Okay, what is f theta? F theta is equals to r equals to 4 sin theta. So kalau saya nak gantikan f theta kepada f pi theta, saya kena gantikan semua yang dalam theta tu, which is here, into pi minus theta. Okay. Okay, and then this one, the sine pi minus theta is not equals to sine pi minus sine theta. No, Kalau you buat ni memang saya pangkal besar-besar. Okay, you have to use identity trigonometry. So the identity is given. Okay, this identity is given. Which identity you have to use the sine, sebab ini sine kan, so sine lah, sine x plus minus y equals to sine x cos y, kalau plus minus juga cos x sin y. Okay, kena guna formula yang ni. Okay, so kita guna formula tu, kita akan dapat so our x now is pi, our y is theta, so sine pi cos theta. Kalau tambah, jadi tambah. So sekarang tolak, so tolak cos pi sin theta. Use the identity. Now this sin pi and the cos pi, you can use calculator to evaluate the value lah. Okay, because pi is a value, one value, a constant. Okay, so sin pi kalau tekan calculator dapat kosong. Cos pi kalau tekan calculator dapat negatif 1. The theta cannot be evaluated because theta is a variable. Okay, dia bukan constant. Theta ni variable yang tak ada nilai pun lagi. Okay, so you will get 0 times cos theta is 0 minus sin theta, which is 4 sin theta, which is equals to back the f theta. So you have proven lah. Proven symmetric about y-axis. Okay, so if you draw the sin theta is what? The circle on the y-axis kan? If you draw, then it is actually symmetric about y-axis. So ini y kan? Maksudnya belah kiri dengan belah kanan dia ada bentuk yang sama. Sebab symmetric pada y-axis. Okay. Last question, let's go into question 11. Use symmetric test to show that the curve 9J and K are symmetric about x-axis. Now, we want to show a symmetric about x-axis. Okay, so R equals to 2 cos 3 theta. If symmetric about x-axis, kalau you dah lupa, you tulis balik. Sini x, kalau satu ke atas, dia mesti ada satu ke bawah. Okay, so if it's theta, then this will be negative theta. So I have to show f theta equals to f negative theta. So in the 2 cos negative 3 theta, here to here, to 2 cos 3 theta, okay, dia bukan setakat tulis macam tu saja, okay. Bukan actually there's a formula for it as well. Okay, if it's cos, then cos x is equals to cos negative x as well. Okay, so the argument can be negative, but then the value is the same. However, for sine sine negative sine x is equals to sine negative x. Okay, so this is a formula. Okay, sebab dia cos, so sama juga positif ke negatif, then it will be f theta back. Then we have proven symmetry about x-axis. So basically x-axis ni dia, kalau dia symmetric, awak memang kena guna yang atas ni. Okay. Tapi kalau y dengan about the pole, then you have to use the identity just now. Okay, the plus minus sine, plus minus cos tu. Okay. Alright, so that's it for 1.5, which is the polar coordinates. Okay, you can do the tutorial yourself, all of it. Okay, tutorial won't be discussed on class, but if you have question, you may ask me through WhatsApp. Okay, because I want you to do it yourself. The tutorial is for your latihan apa latih to be lah kiranya, okay? So basically 1.5 is about polar coordinates. What you have to know is how to plot the points, how to convert the points from polar to rectangular and rectangular to polar. And then besides converting the point, you have to also know how to convert the equations. Okay, convert equation dengan point ni beza. Point tu dia ada koordinat. Equation dia yang dalam bentuk equation r equals to x equals to f, y equals to something. Okay, so converting the equations in polar to rectangular, rectangular to polar, vice versa. And then the most important thing is to know how to sketch the curve in polar coordinates. Okay, and then lastly the symmetric test, as what we do just now lah. Okay.